Hi everyone, my name is Safira and I would like to do teaching presentations on the politics of standard English for today. And here is the table of contents for today. So we have the lesson goals and the definitions of standard English by the scholars and the impact of standard English in the society. And then we will have a look on the theoretical review. And we have some activities that you can do. And the last part, we have conclusions that includes limitation as well as implications. Here is the goal of the lesson. So the target of this audience for this lesson is for TESOL teachers, both in English as a second language and English as a foreign language program. And the goals of this lesson is for students to understand the impact of the global spread of English and also the awareness of the varieties of English in the world, and then the politics of standard English in the social and political power. And the last goal is for students to be able to implement the standard English and English varieties in society, especially in teaching students. And here we have the definitions for standard English, like what is standard English? So standard English, according to some scholars, first we have Walker 1990, who mentioned that standard English is a set of discursive practices that in societies include academic discourse and at least the discourses of the professional domain. So the point is standard English is mainly used in the academic and professional environments. And second definitions, we have Crystal 1995, who mentioned that standard English is a variety of English that carries most prestige and is most widely understood. So English becomes the standard as it is promoted by the elite, and that's why it becomes the standard English that we follow. And then the third definition, we have Trajil 1999, who mentioned that standard English refers to BBC English and the Queen's English, and it is a set of grammatical and lexical forms, and which is typically used by educated native speakers. So it means it's spread by educated native speakers, and that's why standard English is mostly followed in the world. And here is the spread of English. So this is the brief explanation of how English is spread. And according Crowley 2008, there are two major ways how English is spread. So first, there were 25,000 people who migrated from England to America and Australia, and it resulted the English varieties and dialects in that areas. And second way is the colonization of Asia and Africa that led to second language varieties referred to English varieties or world Englishes. And here there is Kachru 1985, who also explained about the English varieties and how it started from the spread of English. So he categorized it into three circles. So first is the inner circle country, where English is the native language of the country, and then the outer circle country, where English is a second language, and then the expanding circle country, where English is used as a foreign language. And now we are going to watch a video, and this video is about the varieties of standard English in the inner circle countries. So you will learn how standard English in inner circle countries are also different, such as in UK, USA, and Australia.
Hello, my name's Amelia. Today, we're going to look at the different types of English in the world. You may think that they're all the same, After all, it's the same language. But actually, there are quite a few differences. The most obvious one is pronunciation. For example, can you tell where these characters are from? The United States, Britain, or Australia? Hi, how you doing? Hi, how are you? G'day, how you going? It isn't just pronunciation that's different, it's also spelling. British English sometimes uses extra letters. Here are a few examples. British, favourite. US, favourite. British, colour. US, colour. Sometimes the British use different letter order too. British, centre. US, centre. But the major difference is vocabulary. Sometimes, even though people from the United States, Britain, and Australia all speak English, they can still get very confused when talking to each other because they use different words for the same thing. Listen to these. If you walk down the footpath past the servo, my unit's on the left. If you walk down the pavement past the petrol station, my flat's on the left. If you walk down the sidewalk past the gas station, my apartment's on the left. You probably prefer one type of English to another, depending on what you've been taught or what you're used to listening to. That's perfectly okay. There's no right or wrong type of English. One is not better than any other. Next time you're listening to the telly, TV, or watching a film, movie, try to listen out for the different accents and the vocabulary they use to see if you can guess where the people come from. As far as Cambridge English writing and speaking exams are concerned, you can use the standard English you prefer. Cambridge English exams are international, so it doesn't matter which English accent you have or what vocabulary you use. Just remember to be consistent. Stick to one type and don't mix them up. Good luck. Thanks for watching.
And here's some points that we can learn from the video. So standard English in inner circle countries still has its own varieties. And we need to focus on one standard English and be consistent towards it. The third point is the inner circle countries have their own standard in terms of vocabulary and pronunciation as well as spelling. However, the grammatical structures in standard English remain the same, so you don't have to worry. And then the standard English is mainly for formal and academic purposes, such as international trade and English proficiency tests. And here we have the impact of standard English. So we will have a look how standard English has impact on our society. So because of the existence of standard English, therefore, non-standard English is perceived as an incorrect form of English. And standard English is seen as more powerful and superior than the other English varieties. And standard English is used in the educational system as it is promoted by educated members of the community. So it's well promoted compared to the other English varieties. And by not having standard English, the society view this as a disadvantage, and this can cause inequality in the society. And the last impact is in some countries, people who cannot speak English properly is treated unequally. So this is again is causing inequality, especially for people who is trying to apply for a job. And now we will have a look on the theoretical reviews. So we have Pennycook 2000. He mentioned that standard English is a social and historical construction that refers to the point where standard English doesn't emerge naturally, but is made for particular purposes. So here, Pennycook tried to point out that there is a political motive behind standard English, the existence of standard English. And for Obaid Hamid 2014. This relate to how teachers in outer circle countries like implement their teaching. So when they still like accept the varieties and the language change in that happens with the students learning process in learning English process. However, they still conform it into the standard English. And last theory is by Holiday 2008. He mentioned the measure of competence in speaking English is related to the user's communication success, and which is never to be native speaker. So it means to be able to speak successfully, like English successfully, is enough. You don't have to achieve how to be like native speaker in speaking English. And here are some activities for you to do. So I would like to engage in this activity. So this activity is for you to check your understanding. So you need to categorize these countries into the circle in which English varieties they belong. So there are inner circle countries, outer circle countries, and expanded circle countries. So I will give you 3 minutes to do these activities and we will discuss it together. All right, so let's discuss it together. So first, who belongs to inner circle countries? And yes, it's the native countries like Australia, Britain, like UK, and then USA, yes, and then Canada, and also New Zealand. And what about the outer circle countries? Who belongs to this circle? Yes, it is Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Singapore, Philippines, and also Tanzania. So the rest will be expanding circle countries such as Japan, China, and then Indonesia, Egypt, and Taiwan, as well as Saudi Arabia. So well done for doing these activities. Let's go to the next activity. So in this activity too, I would like you to reflect on how learning standard English, like since the first time you are learning it until now, like so how standard English has shaped you into like what you are right now, or if you are a teacher and like how it shaped you. And please share it on the Padlet, and I give you 5 to 7 minutes for this activity. And after this, we will do the next explanation. All right, thank you for doing the activities. And you did really well. And let's go to the next explanation. So we are entering conclusions. We have limitation and implication. However, we will watch a video before we come to the conclusion. So this video is about Conan, an American comedian who comes to Australia to learn Australian English. So let's watch together.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to Australia. So I live in Sydney, Australia, and even though they speak English here, I still had to learn the language. I'm sitting here with Gabrielle, a voice and dialect coach.
Correct.
I would like to be able to speak like an Australian, an authentic Australian. I do dialects very well.
Scottish?
There's a Loch Ness monster.
No, that was very good. Could you be British? Could you?
What Could always be British. It's the travelling life for me. That's cabin captain's for the real company. Oh, don't starve it, don't push the capital B.
The Australian accent all happens back here. You got to hook
Right.
it into your jaw cavity.
Oh,
So rather than forward here,
There,
stick it
push
back
back.
there.
yeah.
But as an
Yeah,
Australian,
how about that? Yeah. I got that
that's
part right.
good nasal. Yeah. And if you're saying yes to something, it's also really good to go, yeah, nah, yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's nice.
For me, some fruit.
Would you like some fruit?
Yeah,
No. Yeah, I'll just put it down.
but I did want the fruit. That's another thing I've noticed with Australians.
Yeah.
They turn everything into a nickname.
Yes. Did you have your brekkie?
Is that my brekkie? Oh, that's breakfast.
That's breakfast.
Ask
Yeah, you
me
can
how-
have it smashed avo on toast for brekkie.
I had a smashed apple on toast for breakfast.
Yeah, it's lacking a little subtlety, but the sounds are good.
You can get subtlety. Barbecue.
Barbecue. We say barbecue.
Oh, right, Barbie.
Barbie.
That's the one everyone knows. Shrimp on the
Yeah,
barbie.
no, we don't say shrimp.
What do you say?
Prawns.
Oh, wait a minute. There was a whole commercial
I
that
know,
for
we know.
years.
I'll slip an extra shrimp on the barbie.
You don't say shrimp?
No one's.
They fools out of us. It's a big war. It's a big drinking culture here.
We know it is.
Foster's Lager. Foster's Australian for beer.
Nobody drinks Foster's.
You don't?
Most bars won't even sell it.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being scammed.
Foster's
My whole life, I thought the first thing you get to Australia, you have a shrimp on the barbie with a Foster's Lager, and then you go to steakhouse. You talk to Rupert Murdoch about a kangaroo.
Another thing is that we say how good is something, but it's a rhetorical question. We go, how good is this weather? And then
How
we
good is this weather?
go back.
How good is this weather?
Yeah, that's it.
How good is this? So it's like a series of mild strokes that have included.
That's right. Because
How good is this weather?
yeah,
How good is this weather? The roo. The roo?
and if someone's a bit daft, you can say that there are a few roos loose in the top paddock.
A few roos loose in the top attic.
Yeah,
There's a few roos loose in the top attic.
you're really taking on that anesthetic.
I'm trying to just kill this part of my face. Okay, you start saying things and I'll repeat them immediately, and that's how we'll do it. Let's go.
Oh, how good is this weather?
How good is this weather?
Bloody beautiful. Do
Bloody beautiful.
you want a drink?
I want to drink all the time, but not Foster's Lager.
You're doing really well.
I hope you enjoy the video,
Ladies and gentlemen,
and here are some points to learn from the video. So learning a language means learning the culture of a country, and speaking standard English doesn't mean we are the superior class. So we are trying to embrace like all the varieties of English, and English native countries also have different cultures. And standard English is mostly learned for academic purposes. To avoid misunderstanding with the locals, we still need to learn their local dialects or their English varieties. And the last point is English varieties need to be learned for immersing in the local culture. And here we come to the conclusion. So studying the politics of standard English and the English varieties can lead students to view the inside of language structure and meaning related to social and political power. And here are some limitations. So the society still has a strong belief in standard English achievement, and also they still have strong, like they put strong prestige to the native, to be like a native English speaker. And there is a lack of awareness for TESOL teachers in understanding the existence of English varieties. And for the implications, according to Prism 1997, a nation needs to preserve its identity by searching for ways to express its difference from the rest of the world. So it is good to have English varieties as it's our identity, and the teacher doesn't need to force students to achieve proper English. We should make the materials or synthesize the materials based on what learners need and the local environment. And teaching materials should embrace more on linguistic diversity. And that's all from my teaching presentation. Thank you for watching.